Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your elemental energy reading for the element of Earth for the month of February of 2026. Earth covers the zodiac signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So if you are Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or have Earth high up in your charts, this message is for you. If you've never had your charts read, there is a link in the description. It's not sponsored or anything like that, but it gives you the base 12 houses and then 10 to 20 pages of a description of what all that means. And there's a little section in the back usually where there is an elemental alignment, which tells you more about the elements. So with that, we will get started with your I-ching hexagram, which I cast before the video. And Earth, you have number 30, which is titled Flaming Beauty. And your text is Flaming Beauty, righteous persistence brings reward, success, rearing cows, and good fortune. So this is really saying this month is going to be a rousing success for our Earth family. It's also going to have that brilliance where you're going to have people seeing what you're doing. There's definitely this energy that's coming in where you're just going to be doing your thing, but there's other people noticing. It's not just, well, this might work, I don't know. You know what you're doing. That's where this is coming up at. And it's going to end up balancing out in the long run for you is what we're hearing. So let's break this down line by line. Our baseline here is our foundation. Approach with reverent steps. He pays them his respects, no error. This is really saying stick to your goals, your values, your core belief system. And when we talk about righteous persistence or the reverent steps, we're talking about you're doing the things for the right reasons for you. It doesn't matter what anyone else is thinking, which actually applies to a lot of things in life. But with the adding of righteous persistence, this is where we get into that core value stuff. It's not so much a religious thing as this is what is aligned with my soul, this is what I'm going to do. And it's when you violate that things tend to go bad. So stay true to yourself, stay true to how you view God's source, and move forward in that vein. Your second line here, yellow sunlight, sublime good fortune. This is really saying things are shining on you. It's looking really well. The sun shines upon you, and it's not the brilliant, burning noonday sun. It's the yellow sun, where it's warm, you get things done, you're comfortable in how you're working. Sublime good fortune. It's just going to be kind of an easy way of moving through this month. So our third place line, in the light of the setting sun, young men do not beat up their cooking pots or sing. The old sigh piteously, misfortune. So this is kind of saying you don't want to parade yourself. You don't want to be too loud about everything, because that's what's going to lead to like the old sigh piteously, like, oh, there the kids doing their thing again. So you don't want to get too aggressive with what you're doing. You just want to go forward, whether it's in a relationship and you're just quietly building the life that you and your partner want, or if it's in a business, you're just quietly doing the work. The success comes from others observing, not from you bragging. So that's that part of you want to stay true to the righteous persistence. So our fourth place line, how sudden it's coming, then with flame-like swiftness it is dead and cast away. So things that are coming in are going to happen really quick. You're going to achieve your goals. And then once you have them, you're like, okay, now I have this, where am I going next? It's not that it's no longer valuable to you. It's, this is what I was working towards. Now I have it. Where am I going next? And this is that energy of success building upon success, because now you have the one. What are you doing next? And that's where, if you're staying true to your core beliefs, this is where, it's coming in, and now you get to observe, yes, I have it. This is awesome. Where am I going next? It's just like with Abraham Hicks when they talk about it. You're achieving something so that you can achieve the next thing. And it's because when you achieve something, that particular desire has been fed and put down to quietness, and now you're looking with another desire. Where are you going next? There's always something more to build in life. There's always something more to learn. And the joy is, once you achieve one, then the next one tends to reveal itself. So, our fifth place line, where are we at? His tears streamed forth as though to extinguish his piteous sighs, good fortune. This one, I've read this one a few times and I've had to meditate on it. It's not talking about tears of sadness, it's tears of joy. His tears stream forth as though to extinguish his piteous sighs. The tears are coming down because you actually are achieving it. You're happy about it. And the piteous sighs is the sadness. Like, well, I didn't quite get it the way I wanted it, but you got it anyway. And that's where the good fortune comes in, is don't worry so much about the how. Let the universe deal with the how. You're here to do the next steps, do the inspired actions, and focus on the goals ahead. Again, whether that's in relationship stuff, whether that's in business, whether that's in your personal life, as long as you're staying clear on where you're headed, that's the key. Then the universe is going to line things up for you. So let's take a peek here at our capstone, our top line. The king went forth to set things to right, and blessed by heaven with victory, he destroyed the leader of the rebels, but did not chastise the rebel followers. No error. So this may sound weird, but when the king goes forth, this is you. You're the one going out here. And it's saying you set things to right, and blessed by heaven with a victory, you destroyed the rebels. If there's the rebel leader, if there's a problem you're dealing with, you just deal with it. You don't punish other people because there was a problem. You just take care of the problem and you move forward. And that's what it's saying, is you destroyed the leader of the rebels. You destroyed the head of the snake, the problem that was in front of you. But you're not going to go out and be like, well, it's so-and-so's fault because I had this problem, and if they wouldn't have, don't do that. That's not going to be beneficial, and it's not going to work out in your favor. So this is that energy where you get to walk forward. You're going to get your goals this month, Earth, because that's what universe is bringing in. But it's not going to be through being loud or boisterous. It's going to be, you're going to get your goals successfully because you are sticking true to yourself. You're being true to your core values, and as you're doing that, you are following the path that is most appropriate for you in that moment. And the universe is going to be like, hey, you put the work in before, let's see where you're going to go next. So it's actually a really positive month from the I-ching. Before we hop into the cards, like, comment, and subscribe if you're new here. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, and impressions. And I read intuitively, so if you see something different with the cards, let me know in the comments what your intuition is bringing forward. It's always interesting to hear other people's opinions and thoughts on the cards. So each week we look at, there's 4 weeks in February, we'll look at a guide or guardian, a message from source, and then we'll get some clarity from the tarot. Any of the cards I'm using or the book, you can check in the link, or there's links in the description. So Earth, you are starting off the first week of February with the goddess Gaia and ocean Jasper, which is tying into your energy, because Gaia is the goddess of the earth, so this is your energy, Earth. And the title of the card is Goodwill. You activate the spiritual power that benefits and protects all beings. Through mutual enhancement, the power of goodwill, generosity, and grace, you plug into the golden energy grids of grace that rise from the earth and provide all that is needed for every being to manifest their destiny. You put your faith in the potency of encouragement. You hold an empowered vision for yourself and all beings. Just like with the I-ching, things are going to go well. That flaming brilliance. Everything's going to happen the way it's supposed to. With this energy, though, it's the goodwill where as you're growing yourself and your whatever's going on with you, whether it's a relationship or a business, you're inspiring others. You might even be helping them along. Someone comes to you because they're having a relationship situation, and because your relationship is going so well and you guys resolve problems really quickly, you're able to help this other person. You could be starting your business, which is going to help someone else finally take that step to move forward with their business idea. And there's always going to be enough. That's the thing that I've found in life, is it doesn't matter what someone else is doing. You could have a similar vision. Your way of doing it is going to be different from theirs, and you're going to attract a different clientele. And so that's this energy with Gaia, is don't worry so much about the house. Let the universe deal with that. You're doing it for the right reasons, and you're willing to share your knowledge, which is a form of wealth, with others, and that's going to help speed them along their path, and by doing so, it's actually going to elevate your path as well. So your message from source is number 22, power number there, and it's called Fool's Embrace, but this is transmuting pain. So it's really saying you can take all the lessons from your past, all the challenges, all the struggles, all the things that you didn't like, but you're able to turn those into gold. You're taking that lead and you're turning it into something valuable. So you're taking those challenges and you're making them lessons to help yourself and guide others. You're taking this knowledge and moving it through an experience into wisdom. The Fool's Embrace is saying, well, how can I do that? There's no way I can learn from fill in the blank problem. Why can't you? Every challenge, every problem that comes up in your life, it happens because your soul is saying, hey, you're not paying attention. You have a lesson to learn here. And when you do, and if you can absorb that lesson and make it part of who you are, that pattern breaks and you don't repeat it because you learned the lesson the first time. And the Fool's Embrace is saying you're able to transmute these negative experiences into something better. But if you're not willing to change, you're embracing the problem, and that's going to bring it around again until it's learned. And the Source is saying, Earth, you've already been doing this. You've already figured out the pattern of how to deal with this. Any of these lessons, challenges, and obstacles, even the I-ching talks about, there's going to be an obstacle this month, but it's not going to be long-ranging, and you're going to walk up to it and be like, oh, I fix it this way, and it's just going to fade. So you're really in a good spot. The starting of the month is setting you up for, again, success. So, and again, success, when I talk about that or bring it up as an energy factor, we're not talking, oh, lots and lots of money. That's a possibility, but your success is what you view it as. Your success could be that person saying yes to your marriage proposal. That success could be opening the doors of your business. Your version of success is what works for you. And these are general readings, so you're taking what works and leaving the rest. So our clarification from the tarot, if I could talk, is the Princess of Spring, optimistic, enthusiastic, creative, and energetic. It's time to go after your dreams, do something that expands your horizons, letting your creativity take flight. Universe is working with you. Gaia is coming in to help ground and anchor, and you're sharing this knowledge and wisdom with other people. The Fool's Embrace is saying you're learning your lessons, you're transmuting them into higher and higher frequencies. And the Princess of Spring is saying, now that you're doing this, let your creative mind run. Let it flow. What are you wanting to build? What are you wanting to paint? What are you trying to create with your partner? Are you guys ready to start a family? Are you ready to buy that house, build that house? What is it you're wanting to create? Tap into the joy of spring specifically, which is more of a water energy, but really tap into that energy. Water or fire, I can't remember now. The energy is coming up more like that optimistic water, but really tap into that and embrace this joyous ability and opportunity that you have to move forward with life in this more successful state, because you're shining like a little star yourself, Earth, and that's huge because that doesn't always happen for everybody. So let's see what your second week looks like. And we have, I don't know if I've ever pulled this card before, the Archangel Michael and Lapis Lazuli, the Vision. It's a really pretty card. Your inner soul's passion inspires you with vision, energy, and optimistic enthusiasm for creating possibilities. You trust that the true vision awakening from the depths of your heart attracts the perfect grace, opportunities, relationships, and information required for manifestation. You allow your highest aspirations to nourish you and urge you forward step by step with total trust in the generosity and goodness of the unknown, which is the portal through which your dreams come true. When we start to tap into the mystery of life, we live in the now. We have our visions of the future, our goals. But when we tap into that mystery, the universe is like, ooh, we get to play now. So you're not just walking forward with, this is my roadmap, these are the steps along the way, it's going to take exactly 17.12 days. Or you can just say, you know what, I'm going to live in the moment, I'm going to follow the next steps, my goal's over there, and let the universe kind of guide the path ahead. When you do that, you'll be surprised at how random things start to fall into place. Sometimes it's 17.2 days happens in 6. So you don't want to put time frames on things with the universe unless you're trying to say, I want to be able to learn this within a certain window of time, help me achieve that. That's a little different. But when you're building goals, like, I want to have a business open, this is my goal, okay, let the universe help guide you on that. Because when you follow that intuitive guidance, that inner voice and strength, especially when you're working with Archangel Michael, who loves to clear paths and cut away karmic extras that you don't need anymore, you're stepping into the path of wisdom. Lapis lazuli is a great one for wisdom anyway. And so the second week, you might even find a piece of jewelry that has lapis or carry a piece with you, because it's a very healthy, strong energy. And with your success, that flaming success, that little vein of gold that's in lapis is probably going to help you out. So it's definitely going to be another strong moving week. But you've got Michael with you, so you don't have anything to worry about, because literally you have one of the strongest angels to protect you. Your message from source is number 61, whale song resonating. If you've ever looked on like YouTube or something and listened to whale song from some of the ships, you'll know that this is a very deep vibration. It may sound high pitched, but it vibrates into your soul. And I've been lucky a couple times in my life to be on a coast and see these creatures. Never heard them because I don't snorkel or scuba dive, but you can see them from the surface, and their power is amazing. That's where you're wanting to tap into, is this deep resonance, this deep abiding movement within the planet. And what I'm hearing with this is this whale song is a healing energy for your soul. You've got Michael coming in with lapis lazuli, helping guide you, tap into wisdom and expand. And source is saying, now that you're doing all of this, you're understanding, you've understood the process before Earth, you're just taking it to a deeper level now. Now you get to heal some of the previous wounds, the things that have popped up from other challenges and obstacles that may have scarred you a little bit. The universe is saying, let's heal that. Let's free you from this burden. It's no longer yours. You don't need to carry it. So put it down and let's work with your healing guides in this second week and bring in this beautiful energy of resonance, of quiet. Because if you resonate with your goal, it will achieve it faster. But sometimes, because we're carrying other things, we can't hit that vibration. And that's what this is saying, is let's get you aligned with what's going to work best for you, and then free yourself from the rest of it that's just not working anymore. So, sorry, I've rearranged some stuff so my side table's a little shorter now. Your message from the tarot is the Queen of Spring. Brilliant, loyal, talented, and friendly. Believe in yourself. Wonderful people who want to help you, and maintaining a balance between the work and home life. You have a lot of spring energy, and it's the feminine aspect. So this is where you get to tap into this energy of the divine feminine is very supportive. It's very nurturing, amazingly creative. And before anyone says, oh, she's weak because it's a woman, no, divine feminine is extremely powerful. The divine masculine and divine feminine, when they're in perfect unity, is a force to be reckoned with. Right now, Earth, you're being called to work with the feminine aspect of the divine to support your emotions and your mind as you're building this. And who knows, the creative aspects of the Queen are going to step forward. They're going to show you this unique way of dealing with life. And when you're doing that, you're going to see, oh, well, I was looking at it this way, and she's all, but if you walked over here, there's a shortcut. And so you get to see these other alternatives, and you're going to be more willing and able to support others. That's spreading that generosity, sharing your wisdom with them. And that's where that Queen comes in, because that's her nature. So you're working with this energy of being supported yourself, but also helping and supporting others. And the second week is really about getting things moving, but you're healing as you're doing it. And that healing is actually supporting you and other people. So let's see. Well, that card literally just jumped out of the deck. So we have, for your third week, Ascended Master Hilarion and Green, oh good grief, Chrysoprase? Not good with names. The card's title is Discernment. You rely upon your inner knowledge to perceive the truth beyond appearance. You feel deep within for the truth of the divine love within yourself, guiding you in every moment, inspired by grace and with perfect timing. You attain the clarity you need. You feel joyful and supported as you trust your emerging insights to safely navigate your way to higher ground. Your inner eyes see the truth, which faithfully and playfully guides your path forward. You recognize and are nourished by the supreme vibration of truth. This third week, you're going to see how the patterns are playing out. The first 2 weeks, we're getting you more grounded, doing the inner work that needs to be healed, getting tapped into that divine feminine, the nurturing, supportive, and creative aspect of self. And in this third week, now you're seeing what was the purpose of the first 2 weeks. Now you're starting to see the pattern that's playing out. And that's beautiful, just like with the card's image here. You have a kind of like a snowflake here. The pattern is created through time and patience, and it's not created to a specific will. No two snowflakes are alike. So you're not doing this from the point of, I will carve this in concrete. This is the only way. The universe is like, you know better than that. We're going to do it this way, because when you flow with the universe, it'll end up being grounded in concrete, but your path to get there is way more interesting. So let's take a peek at your message from Source. Apparently Source has some messages for you. We have number 16, which is the empty well, time to replenish. When you tap into that flow of life, you're not drawing from your emptiness. You're not drawing from, well, I have to do it all myself. You're going to drain yourself, and that's where the empty well comes in. When you are working with Source, it replenishes you. Yeah, you might still be working. You still might be plugging along. You're still going to be pushing forward. The difference is, when you're doing it at that point, you're working with Source. So this will no longer be you. Source is wanting to remind you that when you're working with this energy of creation, the divine feminine, getting in the flow state, you're not pouring from an empty cup. The cup is overflowing so much that you have to pour out of it because it won't stop. You don't want to become this. This is more of a heads up. Like, the universe is saying, don't pour from your own. Bring in the energy, work with the guides, work with Source, and as you do, things are going to flow in a way that you're going to feel so refreshed while doing the work, which sounds weird, that you're not going to notice how much you've actually accomplished until you look back and you're like, wait, where did that all happen? How did this all fall into place? This third week is where you're seeing those patterns emerge. You're seeing how you don't feel tired, Earth. You're feeling good. You're feeling refreshed. You're feeling great. Why? Because you're working with Source. You're in that flow state. And this month is about you really succeeding. And it's succeeding in a way that you didn't think was possible beforehand. You might have had suspicions you could get there, but you're going to see the miraculous occurring this month. And that's the word they keep showing me, is this is going to be miraculous or magical. So pick the term that you like. But this is the month where you get to see this being played out, and you're aware of it now. You've grown, you've achieved, you've changed. So now you get to see in real time how this stuff works. You might not see all the details, but that's fine. But you're going to see it playing out. So your third week's message from the tarot is the Queen of Autumn, generous, stylish, gracious, and practical. This is working more into your energy. Being practical with respect to how you proceed, the ability to make anything more beautiful, meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. You may in this third week end up with somebody new popping into your life that has some previous experiences that might benefit you. Or it could be someone that you already know is kind of like, okay, I'm going to help you along the way because I've already done this. And you didn't realize that this person had already been through a situation like this, because it's not a bragging thing. The Queen of Autumn is that quiet aristocrat. She comes into the scene with grace and dignity, and she doesn't tell everyone that, hi, I'm a queen, I've got all this. She walks into the room, all heads turn. It's because of her quiet ability to do so. And what it's saying here is, when you walk into a situation, especially with your, I keep hearing there's one of you guys that are working with a business, you're starting it or you're looking for a promotion or something. And when you walk into that business, you're doing so not braggadocious, you're not banging the drum when you walk in the door. Because you've already been through everything else this month, you're walking in this third week saying, I know what I'm doing, move. but you're doing it with authority because you have experience. You already have the knowledge. This is triggering that wisdom response, and people sense that. The Queen of Autumn is generous, stylish, practical, and gracious. She knows who she is. Earth, you know who you are. You don't have to worry about that. You also know what you know. And so it's saying, stand in that authority, but do so with the polite attitude and that grace that says, you know what? I'm not going to force you, but I do know what I'm doing. So, again, with the Divine Feminine, you've got a lot of that coming in. So if that's something that you've never worked with, it might be something to check into. Also, pay attention to your dreams. I'm feeling that one. This may be an energy time of the year for you, this February energy, where you're maybe getting contacted more with that Divine Feminine, which is a different feeling when you first connect with it. But that's the energy that's coming up here. So, anyway, fourth week, we have Ascended Master Lady Nada, of course, more Divine Feminine for you. And the stone is rhodochrosite, which is a pretty stone. And your title is Sensitivity. Your devoted heart is a willing, conscious, clear channel for spiritual grace. Your growing sensitivity empowers you to experience the loving presence of the divine and to become the living light with tremendous compassion. Your sensitivity increases in perfect harmony with your ability to proceed or process subtle energies and generate a protective field of spiritual light around you. You claim the space that you need to process your experiences and to thrive. You trust what you sense and respond with wisdom. It is safe and wild and startling and beautiful to be a sensitive soul with this higher awareness. Earth, this whole month is about you getting into the flow of the universe, getting tapped into that. By this fourth week, your heart is going to open up. And I'm not saying that facetiously. I'm feeling very strongly that when you get to this fourth week of the month, your heart chakra is literally going to start spinning in a way where you feel it expanding. You feel it opening up. The I-ching talks about how you're helping others. The king is taking out the rebel leader, but not punishing everyone else, showing benevolence, showing grace, showing how much you have to give and how much you want to share. That's what's coming up here in this fourth week. You have a very interesting, I'm going to see what the rest of the cards say here in a second, but you have a very interesting opening sensation that is happening in your chest. And this also ties into balance. It also ties into a little bit of the Divine Feminine. So there could be a lot of experiences happening in this fourth week that you are basically becoming more aware of how connected you really are to Source, where you didn't think that, your 1 or 2 prayers a day or however you do that to God, to Source, to the universe. It's like, okay, I'm doing this. But by the end of this month, you're going to notice, oh, that's how it changes. That's what's shifting. Because you've been feeling kind of, I have this sensation of being stuck. But this month is going to shake things up for you. So your message from Source is number 51, stars in the skies with limitless possibilities. There is no restriction on how far you choose to go. When you follow those core values, those, the righteous path, when you really get grounded in that existence, when you really connect upwards with Source and downwards into Gaia, where you're walking that divine spiritual path, it really doesn't matter what else you're putting your mind towards. If you're working towards that relationship and you're connected like that, you're going to fall into the perfect place. Are there going to be bumps in the road? Of course there are. But you're going to find the person that's most aligned with you. You're going to grow in that experience. You're going to become something better. If it's a business opportunity, you're going to find the right place. You're going to have the ups and downs because that's life lesson stuff. But you're going to be able to move forward with grace, with dignity. Because you're shooting for the moon, you're landing in the stars. There is no restrictions here. And I know there could be people, because I've been one that has said this before, well, what if this business agency or this government agency doesn't like what I'm doing? Okay. What do you need to adjust to bypass that? Or not so much bypass, but like how can you work within the system there and then work to change it? Work to change the system. And that could be part of what you're working with, is changing the system. But there's no such thing as a totally slammed door. There's a door that's closed, and that means that opportunity may not be the best one for you. But what opened up in the process? What changed? What is the next opportunity? Because the universe never says absolutely you're not moving beyond this point. It says that's not the best choice. Here's 3 other options, meaning your possibilities never stop. So that's where this energy of source is coming in, saying it doesn't matter if you feel there's challenges along the way. There's always going to be something new. There's always going to be a new opportunity, a new success, a new benefit. Be open to that, get into that flow state, and when you do, you'll dodge a lot more of the negative and land way more in the positive. Again, you're always going to have ups and downs. That's part of life. But the downs are what show you what's coming next, what you choose to pick. When you're in those darker points, you have the opportunity, which is unique. Really, think about it this. When you're in the dark points, you have the opportunity to see, what light am I wanting to chase? Where do you want to go next? It's a challenge that creates the desire, that allows you to build the goal, and then you have a new direction to go. And that's what they're saying is, don't worry about the down parts. You're going to get out of those. It's there to teach you and to show you. So, your message from the tarot is the 6 of Winter. Positive changes are on their way, a welcome relief from troubled times, traveling or relocating. This is just tying into the stars in the skies. Don't let a down point stop your momentum. Don't let a challenge kill your drive. The 6 of Winter is very supportive in this deck, that's saying, where are we going? Yeah, you might be in a down point. Let's trim the sails a little bit. What direction are we actually headed? Earth, you've had this moment through this month where everything's really went clean and smooth for you. This last week, there might be a little bit of rocky water. I-ching talks about it too. And it's really saying, did you lose sight of your goal? If you did, fine, reset. You're going to get there. And that's the 6 of Winter's message is, just because there's a bump in the road doesn't mean life's over. Doesn't mean that your goal's no. It just means you weren't paying attention for a second and you tripped. So pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and continue forward with grace and dignity. This month, Earth is looking really successful for you. It's definitely saying tap back into your core values and beliefs. Really get connected with God's source, because that's literally what's going on here. Particularly the divine feminine aspect of divinity. So Mother Mary, one of the goddesses, however you see that, this is the energy that's coming up for Earth this month. And you've got some awesome angels and crystals to work with, so you have a very good month ahead. I will see you guys in the next video, and I don't have to tell you, you're going to have a great month, but enjoy it as you go.